And then at the end, I'll cut off the recording before we have any check-ins. And I'm just going to mute you, Andrea. Feel free to unmute anytime. So even as this is going on, if you have a question, if you have a concern or anything, totally feel free to unmute and ask. While it may look like I'm really in my process of whatever's going on, I'm also super available. Um, so we'll start. We'll just start. So the spiral dance, it won't necessarily be choreographic, but there may be dancing and movement for you in that way. But I want to actually start with a little qigong exercise that is kind of choreographic, and just because it's such a nice spiral opportunity. And so just taking a couple of deep breaths. Maybe sigh, let out whatever you can let out. Whatever you are ready to let go of. Letting it go. And let's do the double sniff. So a big maybe letting out more and one more. So this is this little qigong exercise, which I really love because it is very spirally. And I want to offer that the way that I'm practicing doing it right now is as effortlessly as possible. So, not thinking of it like an exercise, like I'm going to do my exercise, but more like simple movement that is accessing this capacity to spiral. And you can do this standing up or seated. I'm just going to be seated for it for right now. So, the first thing that happens is your hands start to come into that like you're touching a table. Then your whole arm is going to spiral, so your fingertips are pointing back. Your arms are going to come forward, and we'll do it a few times towards hello. Then we'll spiral in. We'll part the veils and then just relax them down and let the arms really soften. So fingers peel forward, hands like you're touching a tabletop, hands spiral, fingertips to the back. This will be the only sort of thing that is actually set. After that, it'll shift. Spiraling in, opening out to the sides, letting them just drop down, melting shoulders, jaw, neck relaxing. And again, fingertips come forward, hands spiral to the back, just continuing to breathe. Palms forward, about shoulder level, spiraling in, and then opening up, parting the veils, and letting your arms drop, relaxing tension, and making this as effortless and easy as possible. And don't worry if I can see you or not, Andrea, like however it is fine. Hands come forward, fingertips forward, spiral to the back, open it up, part the veils, and release it down. Fingertips forward, spiral to the back, open to the front, spiral fingers towards each other. I like to bend my elbows a little bit there and then press, widen, and soften down. And our last one, fingertips forward, spiral around, offering from the palms of your hands forward, fingertips together, and then opening out and releasing it down. That was the movement. That was the specific movement, which I just love because of all of those spirals. And I feel like since we're all spending so much time on devices and computers, like just getting our tissue a chance to spiral like that is really helpful. Um, so we are going to work with a few different breaths and sounds. And these breaths are from continuum movement. And then I've sort of adapted them for lower word versions. Um, the first one we're going to do is just called theta breath, and it's like a soft hiss. Your tongue is just behind your teeth, and it's almost like you could think of like a barge moving through the water, just bifurcating the water, and the water spreads. So we're moving through, finding the sort of midline. It's just an image and a concept to go with this sound. It may or may not be helpful, but I feel like we're spreading or we're parting the waters as we move through it with our sound. So it's an inhale through your nose. The exhale lasts as long as it lasts. Oh, we got Patricia and Michael. All right. Hey, Patty. Hey, Michael. We have just started. We did a little spiraling with our arms. Now we're moving into theta breath, and we're going to inhale, exhale with a soft hiss. You inhale again whenever you're ready for it. Imagining like a barge on a bifurcating, I don't know why I keep saying a barge, a ship bifurcating the water on really smooth water. It's like you're moving through that, finding that midline. That's my image for the moment. And then you can take resting breaths whenever you need them. We'll go in here for a couple of minutes, just letting ourselves come into that slightly more down-regulated, centered space. Inviting yourself and all of yourselves back into this body, this moment right now. So if there's things that happened before, things that are going to happen after, kind of let go of that and come into presence in this moment in your body. Using that theta breath to come in. So it's also for me very much a coming in and dropping down. And everything I offer today, you take what you like, you let go of everything else. Don't feel like you have to do exactly what I'm doing. Listen to your own system. Really work with the intelligence of your own body. Inviting yourself to come into presence with the part of you that has always been there, the part of you that's there when you're dreaming, the part of you that's having the experience of being. So just inviting that part. Some systems would call it the witness, but think of it more as the withness, the one who is with all of it. And as we're in this theta breath, if any micro movement arrives in your body, any little tiny adjustments or any kind of trickles or trails of movement arrive, allow your body to follow them. Give yourself full access. And you don't have to stay seated. You could be in any position. You could be laying down, moving around. However your body wants to participate is totally fine. Letting letting your system soften, letting go of any kind of grippy clenchiness that is noticeable. Obviously, if you notice it, you can soften it just a little bit, but giving yourself the permission to just drop down a little bit, permission and space to just drop down, moving towards something that is more nourishing in your body mind system. And from this place, we're going to do this hum. And we're going to do a hum with our tongue moving around our lips inside of our mouth. So I'll just show you. It's going to look like this. If that feels uncomfortable or triggering, just don't do it. You can just hum without the tongue. But if possible, you're going to make like maybe 2 or 3 orbits in one direction, 2 or 3 orbits in the other direction. If it feels too much going outside of your teeth, you could go inside of your mouth, just kind of swishing and squishing around the inside of your mouth, letting your tongue meander like a little sea creature in a coral reef. So we'll hum with the with that exploration inside around the teeth. Doesn't have to be like a circle, a circle, a circle. It could be a windy, meandery way around. Moving with your own curiosity, inviting in your own wonder, your own sense of, what's going on? What does this even feel like? Here we go. It can take longer or shorter than I'm doing it. Don't think that you have to match up with me at all. Yeah, you could think I laid out the rules about these circles, but I laid them out and now you do with them what you want. Like even I am not just going in one direction. I'm really meandering in there. So feel free to let this little tongue inside your mouth dance in any way that feels good to you. And if it feels like too much, just skip it and hum. Or skip that too, just being present with yourself. You can also let the ball of your head and cranium have some freedom on top of your spine. So it doesn't have to be locked into place. Spine can have some freedom to move. Head, neck, throat, jaw has a little bit of freedom in there. Inviting your living animal system to be like any kind of living animal or creature or slime mold that feels interesting in your exploration. Taking resting breaths whenever you need them, freeing up the spinal patterning. Imagining your spine and brain, instead of it being like your brain and your spinal column, think of it like this bulb of energy and movement and this river. So, this river of your spinal cord moving out into your nervous system, suspended and floating in the tissues of your body, in your fascia. And from that place, inviting in any kind of little micro movement adjustments. I want to say little spirals and undulations into your patterning. Like as soon as I lift up my hands, I just feel like, oh, what's happening here? And they want to do this exploration of the space. And that hum in my throat has brought on this head tail curiosity as well. So, inviting all of that in, I'm going to do a couple more breaths with the hum. And then we'll probably just play for a little while and we'll come back later with another breath. Inviting all of the fluid in your body to have some freedom. We have different types of flow, right? There's laminar flow, which is well organized, everything kind of going together. It's smooth, not a lot of friction between the layers of the flow. And then there's more turbulent flow that is more chaotic. They say that you want laminar flow in your arteries and in your veins, but I think every once in a while, a little bit of chaos can help push some things around. So don't get too locked into any way that this should be. Just letting yourself free up with this idea of playing. And we're going to start to play. I'm going to add music, and we'll just start to play with finding little micro expressions of spiraling. Could be in your spine, in your arms, in your hands, But one thing that we can think about with a spiral or with the idea of like a spiral that we would draw is that there's sort of a center point and then it's radiating outward. So feeling into it for yourself with this idea of spiraling, is there a sense of center or center point? Or is it kind of continuous like a coil? Letting yourself play with that. I'm going to give us music and I'm probably going to get off of this ball and get down on the floor. I'm also going to say this is the music that we're going to use is a friend of mine, and it's called Whistle Me Higher Imaginary Dances from Bingo Palace. So it's got some words in it. Don't get too caught on the words, but the sort of pulsing sound of the music I feel like is really helpful for tuning into this spiraling, right? What is spiraling in our body? Internal, external rotation. We just want to free up our idea of what it is to be human and expand it into maybe like, well, what is it to be like an octopus? What if I had this octopus body? How could I work with that? So I'm going to add music and play with this for a little while. Right, I can twist my spine, I can turn my head, but don't get locked into spiraling being like this even thing. Let the spirals, ripples, waves, whirlpools, eddies, undulations just move through your body in any way. And it may be that you need a little nudge to get it going, and that's what the music is for.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
How do you spiral? Inviting this sensory body online, right? Inviting yourself to move into what feels good in your body. Letting go of the linear, mechanical ideas of body and turning into this fluid, rippling, waving undulation. And it could be that you play with one area for a while, like you could play with this internal rotation, external rotation in the arms and hands, or with the legs, or with the spine. How you can curve and rotate like a galaxy or a weather pattern. And for this dance, let's imagine that our spiraling is eliminating friction, right? As we're spiraling, we're finding ways through. I'm going to stand up. Ways through our movement, and maybe novel ways of interacting with the space around us. Giving yourself permission to really dive into the sounds of the movement and sticking with any imagery that feels interesting. Yeah, if you've ever danced flamenco or seen a flamenco dancer, the life of their arms, the spirals in their hands. So whatever the imagery that is most delicious for you, whether it's an octopus or a flamenco dancer, just invite that in. And this could be at a very micro level, really small movement, or big macro movement level. I just imagine that the music is actually a landscape that I'm moving on. yourself permission to find that landscape. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's, but what it feels like to you. Maybe spiraling into the backspace. Maybe orbiting. Letting this be an imaginal creative practice for you. Bringing yourself back to yourself. If you find you're getting judgmental or resistant, honor that. It can stay, just don't give it all your attention. Unless it feels good, and then stick with it. And you could imagine that this spiraling is kind of wringing out your insides, wringing it out in a way that relieves you, as opposed to causing stress, but letting it twist and slide away. Feel free to rest. Come into stillness anytime you need to. Make it smaller. Feeling into the spaciousness inside. This cosmic level of space and movement. Are curvilinear, right? We don't have a lot of straight lines in our body. Everything in our body, if it's drawn to a bigger conclusion, would probably start to curl, twist, and spiral. This is coming to a close. Keep moving in any way that feels good, or stillness, just being with yourself, maybe being with your breath, feeling the sort of growing and shrinking movement of the breath, inviting yourself into your own flow, and inviting yourself to free up your own flow.
Better now.
Just giving ourselves a minute to process that. And you can stay wherever you are. Don't feel like you have to come back to the camera. You're totally fine being where you are. Feeling into, in the Laban work, we talk about trace forms, and the trace forms are kind of like the echo of the movement, the residue of the movement. Feeling into that, can you feel the echo, or there's a word I'm looking for, the shifting, whatever's shifting within yourself? Can you feel into that? And inviting in any micro movement that wants to happen, any little internal adjustments. I love movement so much because it shows me so much. It shows me, oh, I'm holding on kind of there. There's a little tightness there. That's curious. So it's easy to be judgmental about ourselves and our bodies. So in this practice, let's try to let go of that. Let the judge sit over in the chair on top of the cat, coming into yourself in the kindest, most forgiving, non-judgmental, open way possible, and allowing any dance that you have with movement, whether it's really small micro movement or big macro movement, inviting that to just be like shining a light on what's happening right now, what you're feeling right now, what you're accessing in sensation right now. Not so that we come to any grand conclusions, but just so that we're present in the vitality of our own living system, the movement of our own system. So we're going to do another breath, and this breath comes from continuum. I'm going to come close for this. It's called the theta breath, and it's really good at sort of releasing the pattern of your face, like the holding pattern that you have of your face. And it's also sound and vibration. So it's going to be like you're making an O, but you're going to let that your mouth kind of um it's called the petal breath because it's like a flower. They think of it like a flower opening and closing, but don't think of it like it has to be flower opens, flower closes. It can be very biomorphic, shifting, changing, alive, and fluid. So I'll just show you. And my face might look weird, and I'm just going to let my face go in whatever it wants to do. So what I'm kind of doing is just allowing my system to unwind a little bit and do its thing. Uh, and there, like it's like there are draws within it that just go, oh yeah, this pull he like it's not a conscious plan. It's just happening. I'll do it one more time. You can join me and then we'll just keep going. If it feels uncomfortable, make it smaller. You may make overtones, but don't think that you're doing it to make overtones. If they happen, great. If they don't worry. Taking resting breaths whenever you need them. Allowing whatever sort of patterning you hold around who you are to soften up, right? Giving it spaciousness. So you're not forcing anything to happen, but you're not holding anything back either. Feeling into your skin, like as I finish doing that, I start to become very aware of like the pulses in my face. So I'm just going to do a little hands-on for myself. So you can do it too. I'm just going to just gently pat and touch my head, my face, inviting any grippiness that I can notice to soften. And I'm not like trying to smash it in and fix it. I'm just touching, bringing sensation and awareness to the surface. Patting down whole central channel from the outside, just feeling, or the whole, I'm just going for the whole thing right now. I'm like, okay, locating, orienting the surface and allowing myself to feel what's going on underneath the surface. So, inviting your relationship from your head to your tail, from your brain down through your nervous system, moving out through your body to have some micro movements. So, some really small, little tiny ripples, waves, little tiny spirals. Inviting your own, I want to just go physiology slash energy slash fluid system, all of this together. I mean, fluids are part of the physiology, but also your energetic system. Like these are all working together for you. So allowing them all to inform each other, giving you the opportunity to tune deeper into this sense of being and into your aliveness, letting go of anything or forgiving yourself or any idea of how things are or supposed to be, just letting yourself come into this living body, inviting in the intelligence of your DNA, the grand spiral within our own bodies, to let your body readjust in any way that feels good and nourishing to you right now. And don't overthink it. There's not a right or wrong about it. If your body wants to do something, just let it do it. There isn't a correct posture here. There isn't a right move. We're just tuning into this level of being. It's very vibrational and fluid, allowing ripples, waves, undulations, free flow into your system. So free flow is kind of different than bound flow. Both of them are flows. These are Laban terms, Laban movement analysis. And free flow, we're talking about a kind of flow that's like childlike and effulgent, ongoing and uncontained, unstoppable. And we want to have some of that kind of life energy in our body. And then a more bound flow would be a more mature, adult, specific, I can stop anytime type of flow. So we want to feel our flow, that we're not locking it down all the time. We're allowing some of this free, bubbling, effervescent free flow along with that more mature, knows exactly how to do and be bound flow. And inviting that into this next uh, little moment. If you found any of the breath stuff that we've done to be helpful in getting you deeper into your system, feel free to bring any of it back. Like it's all just there a as an entryway, as a means of coming in and finding that curiosity, finding that inquiry. Oh, what's going on here? What is this? So letting yourself come into your system for the answers. They're not outside, they're just inside for right now. I'm going to give us more music. And the idea with the spiral dance is really like this allowing and tuning towards that kind of cyclical, spiraling, ripply wave, maybe more feminine femaleness of movement. Maybe it's not more feminine. Well, it's not linear. It's not linear. It's not mechanistic. It's biomorphic, organic. It's the water, the airflow. So let's move with that in any way that feels good. I'm going to add some more music. This is going to be much more sort of slow down regulate music. This is Ambient Fields. My friend Jeff Gersh. Inviting the sound vibration of the music to inform your cells, to inform and invite your body into movement. Micro movement, large movement. I'm going to be rolling around on the floor for this. Letting yourself ring out anything you want to ring out or need to, or just that is ring outable without any kind of violence or forcing, but more allowing, finding those twists and spirals, right? The twists and the spirals are going to hydrate tissue, make our joints happy. Giving yourself freedom and space. What if you just woke up into this body and found that you were a galaxy? How would you discover yourself? Free to break all the rules. Have your discovery be your discovery. In the Laban work, one of the sort of principles of the Bartenia fundamentals is rotary factor, rotation, the capacity for our bodies to internally and externally rotate. So tuning into that rotary factor. Being all the stars, millions of stars in your galaxy, all spiraling and swirling together in some kind of coherence. And in your spiraling galaxy, there are no bad stars. There are no bad stars. So letting judgment wash itself away. And if you feel like you're following a pattern and you keep following the same pattern, change it slightly. Go the other way. Go slower. Go faster. See if there's some part of you that hasn't participated and invite that part in. Be dynamic, shifting and changing, adjusting. the internal flows and spirals. It could be that you play with one spiral and see how far you can take it. Not so that anything hurts or is taking yourself into these extremes, but just, is there a new way? Is there more space somewhere? Or is there a way of wrapping around yourself? Coming into sensation. The phenomenology of being in this moment. What does it feel like? What is even happening? Or what if your body was the instrument that is playing this music? The waves of sound. Giving yourself the opportunity to dive in. And if you encounter anything sticky or crunchy or crusty, just be compassionate to yourself. Offer it compassion and curiosity. Depending on your needs in this moment for movement or not much movement, you can really spiral around and move a lot, or you can just keep it very small. Listen to yourself. Take the agency offered to make your choices, and they can change. Not forcing any spirals, just allowing them. As our nerves are traveling through our body, most of the time, like the bigger nerves traveling through are traveling along pathways with our arteries and veins and lymphatic system, spiraling through our bodies. Fluid systems, living systems, energetic systems, moving through our body. From center and coming back towards center, going away away from our brains, going away from our hearts, and coming back to our hearts, coming back to our brains. So your nervous system is never alone. It's in there working alongside your heart and your lymphatics and your fascia, routed through the fascia, supported by, created by the fascia. As we breathe, just imagining that we're creating space for our nervous system to move through our body. As we move, letting the inner body slide and glide against itself. Spaciousness for these little traveling buddies. Coherence in our body. Sometimes while I'm in these and going deeper, I just like to see if I can slow down more and soften, let go more. Softening won't turn us into bowls of mushy jello, but the softening will allow us more coherent discernment in the choices we make in our lives. Softening could be a feeling of just spreading, opening like a pancake poured on a griddle, right? The stuff comes out, the pancake batter, and just spreads, allowing that spreading. We're not cooking ourselves, but just letting yourself spread from the inside to the outside, not having to hold it all together. Trusting your own animal instincts, coherent heart, tuning into the sort of nature of being a body of air, water, the fire of your spirit, the grounded, earthy nature of your bones and your organizational skills being in the world. Of the sound, allowing setting free all of the times where you weren't allowed to move, and allowing that instinct to come back online, the instinct for movement, the drive towards rhythm and flow, inviting that back into your experience. holds and contains form, right? The way we hold our bodies, the way that we carry ourselves, the things that we carry, they all inform the way that we form our bodies, the way that our fascia forms, the way that our holding patterns form. So letting go of anything that is ready to go, right as we hit this partial solar eclipse coming up, maybe shedding one of your skins. Wherever you are, try just turning your head, really just gently, slowly, letting your head go easy from side to side, taking in the environment just as colors, shapes, light, shadow. It doesn't have to be a full head turn, and it could meander a little bit, hang out in one area. Letting the movement be sort of happening on the silent level, pre-judgment, pre-conclusion. Just letting the movement be movement, and feeling what it feels like in your body. Of your bones dropping into the floor, muscles, fascia, organs, tissue, fluids just dropping down, softening into the earth, giving into gravity, nestling into gravity. Letting your head turning get smaller and smaller. Doing something else that's interesting, just stick with what you're doing. But if you're doing the little head turning, just let it get smaller and smaller so you can barely feel if it's turning at all. That head turning, allow your focus to really narrow into that space where your head is maybe turning or not turning. And from that place, if you can go into that place with your awareness, see if you can sort of stay there but expand your awareness into your whole body. Maybe it's moving back and forth from a whole open body, open awareness into this one little area. Maybe both you can hold, or maybe just one moving back and forth. And maybe the awareness is beyond your body, feeling the spaciousness of being. Assistant down here helping me, my organizational assistant. I'm going to fade that out. taking a minute or two to allow yourself to process the processing, or just to be in yourself.